What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Good news is we finally got the Mustang back. New clutch in it, new flywheel. We ended up having to do some preventative maintenance. We had to replace a transmission mount because it was broken in half, replace our clutch fork and our pivot stud because those were just worn. I'll show some pictures here in a second. The ones that I took. The clutch disc was worn down. I mean, it was the bearings were all dry, and it was bad. I'm glad we got to it when we did, because everything about it was just worn out. It needed replaced. It needed a fluid change. It needed this and that. But the good news is, you know, now everything's good. Everything's tight. Everything's fixed. The car definitely handles and rides a lot better than what it did before. There was a lot of road vibrations and stuff, and now, I mean, it feels just solid. But the Mustang's not tonight's topic. Tonight we are going to be putting a let me see here, a TurboSmart Kompact blow-off valve on this 2013 Ford Focus ST. Now, this does have a few things done to it. It has a fully straight piped exhaust, cold air intake, Accel supercoils, stratified cob tune. So it's already pretty cool as is. The only thing is you just don't hear that. You don't hear that satisfying like turbo, like the full satisfying turbo noises. But after this, we should be able to hear it with no problem at all. But all right, either way, I'm going to be walking you guys through how to actually install an aftermarket blow-off valve on your Ford Focus ST. So the first step that we need to do to get access to it is we got to jack up the car and take the wheel off. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to be skipping around here and there, but I'm going to walk you guys through the entire thing. All right, so now, where's my flashlight? Now, we got the wheel off, we got it jacked up, and a little tip, which actually he told me this one, was turning the wheel all the way to the right, so that way you get better clearance in the blow-off valve. And now, actually, I don't know, this light might be too bright for the camera to like focus. Let me see here. Yeah, right. Here, I'll show it to you. Right about right here where my finger's at is the stock blow-off valve. It's actually pretty simple to get to. It's just we have to take off. There's a tiny little hose on the front of it, which here I'll show you guys on the aftermarket one. You just have the tiny hose that goes on right here. That's just a little, like a pair of needle nose, and then pulling that hose off. And then you have 3 screws that got to come out, and I believe those are Allen bits in there. I will look. I'll tell you guys the size once I figure out what they are. But pretty much it's just undoing the hose and then taking these out. Now I'm going to make sure that we put them in the right direction, you know, in case if there is. I don't know if there's a certain way you have to have this. We're going to look this up, and then I'll catch you guys in a minute, and I'll let you know. All right, so just a little update here. I'm going to get my camera in there. So we got the top hose, or not, I shouldn't say top hose, the only, like the vacuum line, this hose, we got that off. That was actually really simple. It's just got, like I said, 2 tiny little clips on it. Let me see if I can get it good here. These 2, like, miniature radiator hose clamps, and you just slide the first one all the way back, and then put a little bit into it and it'll pull right out. Well, after fighting with it for a little bit, we didn't have the, like I said, we didn't have a 5mm Allen socket, which that is the size for the bolts. And now the bolts, I mean, they're really tiny. But we didn't have a 5mm, but thankfully, what size is this? A 3/16 Allen socket fits, I mean, just about perfect. So it was, thankfully I had that. I didn't even think about it. We tried using an Allen key. It wasn't budging. These bolts, like, I don't know if you saw it here. They are, you can see that rust and like aluminum corrosion buildup. So we're gonna definitely clean these up and clean up the threads in there really good, so that way these don't snap off. I mean, it was a pain alone getting the bolt out of the head of my Mustang. I could only imagine how much it would suck trying to get this dinky little thing out and like the real cramped space in there. So, but here's the comparison. You know, here's our TurboSmart Compact blow-off valve, the compact one, and then like look at the stock one here. It looks cheap, you know. It's just plastic and a spring. I mean that's really all a blow-off valve is. But like compared to the TurboSmart, it's a day and night difference. So also, if you're wondering, on a lot of TurboSmarts, they normally come with the 90-degree neck, but we put the straight one on it just to kind of mimic our stock one here. So we are going to clean up these bolts really good, clean up our mating surface in there, make sure that there's no chance of these bolts ever breaking off in the future. I mean, I doubt we're really going to get back into it unless it's a motor swap or turbo swap, you know, something like that. But we're going to clean these up real good, make sure we won't have any issues. So we're going to do that. And we'll put the new one in, and I'll see you guys in a minute. So a little update. We cleaned off the bolts pretty good, actually. We were able to use a wire brush and hook it up to my drill, and then hold the end of the bolt with vice grips. And so we cleaned that up really good. The TurboSmart is in. I don't know. Let me see here. I don't know how well you guys are going to be able to see. Oh, yeah, there we go. The TurboSmart is in. In case you guys didn't know, when it comes to installing these have an O-ring on them, so be careful not to crimp or pinch the O-ring in any way that it shouldn't. And then when tightening it, obviously there's a bracket. So how these blow-off valves come out is once you take out the 3 bolts, there is a bracket, and that slides up and off of the blow-off valve, and the blow-off valve comes out. Well, for putting these aftermarket TurboSmart ones on there, you put the blow-off valve on, you still do the same procedure where you put the bracket over it. It is this metal bracket right here that I'm pointing to. It has wiring harnesses on it and stuff like that. Make sure that that is over the blow-off valve. Do not put that under the blow-off valve because it won't seat right and you'll have a major boost leak. But alright, now that we're here, the only steps that we have left to do are to hook our hose back up here, which that's going to take 5 seconds. Put the hose clamp back on. Make sure you do that so you don't have a vacuum leak or a boost leak. And then after that, we are going to throw this wheel on, lower it down, torque the lug nuts to make sure they don't fly off. And then we're going to give it a start. And you guys are going to hear what this TurboSmart blow-off valve is going to do for this car. Alright, well, there we have it. Our blow-off valve went back in, no problem at all. Everything snugged down good. I felt kind of stupid because I was saying to clean up the bolts and do this and that when they send new bolts. I forgot about it, my bad. So if your kit doesn't send you new bolts, then do what I did. If not, just use the new bolts, throw the old ones away. Here's our old blow-off valve. It was all dirty and nasty and corroded and stuff. So everything should be good. We tightened it down pretty good. We put the line on. We put the clamp back on. Everything should be good, and it should sound really good. So, all right, let's hear it. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to try to get back into regular uploading. I'm starting to run a little dry on content, so give me some advice, give me some tips down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, help me grow NYAcars into something amazing. Thank you so much, and have a good night.
Never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. Yeah, maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back.